Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine. I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, the states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Kamal.
Andre Williams.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Mia.
I'm skeptic.
And I'm King J.
And we have a full deck tonight to welcome back Andre Williams. We're happy and excited to have him. Andre, let everybody know about your platform and where they can find you.
Yeah, I run a TikTok page, Real Andre Williams. I've gone on many months. The last 6 months, we've been banned multiple times. Millions upon millions of views, millions of likes on TikTok. Instagram, you can find me at Andre Williams USA. YouTube, Andre Williams USA. So, yeah, I'm, kicking it and still going, telling the truth about the problems within the Black community, what we need to do as Black people, how to better ourselves, calling out the Black fatigue that a lot of people are having this year, and demanding better from people in this country. So yeah.
And Andre's in an online beef. We'll get to that at the end. So if you guys want to have Andre's exclusive reaction, you definitely got to wait to the end. But before we get into that, we are going to talk about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Who's a Fed? I'm going to tell you at the end who I think is a Fed. But nevertheless, we're going to break it down tonight. We'll dissect it. This is an intro clip from Kim Iverson breaking it down. So guys, make sure you hit the like button.
So popular alt-right or right-wing influencer Nick Fuentes is being accused of being a Fed. This is kind of a war that is going on between several people on the right. Nick Fuentes versus Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Milo Yiannopoulos, several other people. Nick Fuentes is 26 years old and he's a rising star. In fact, he's had some massive popularity recently. He was banned from pretty much everywhere, deplatformed, debanked. Nick has grown and grown and grown. And the thing that's controversial about him is that he has a lot of, I would say, very white nationalist ideology. Now, why are they calling him a Fed?
He is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
Tucker is saying very clearly he believes Nick Fuentes is some sort of a Fed. Fuentes, though, says the same about Tucker Carlson.
This guy glows so much in the dark.
Okay, so who's the Fed? Is it Nick Fuentes? Is he the Fed? Is it Tucker Carlson? Is he the Fed? Is it somebody else? Is Candace Owens the Fed? I mean, who's the Fed in this group? Because they're all kind of pointing fingers at each other. Milo Yiannopoulos gets in on this and points the fingers even more at Nick Fuentes. And he says, remember when Nick had his money frozen by DOJ? Ask him how he got them to unfreeze it. Answer, informing. Then ask when it was unfrozen. And Elon Musk writes, doesn't make sense that the FBI leaves Fuentes alone unless he's an asset of some kind. Milo then shares a video, Nick Fuentes at J6, saying, we're taking the Capitol back. And Milo says no charges because Nick was one of 30 or so confidential informants working for the FBI on January 6th. Other people like Nick Fuentes were carted off to jail. So why wasn't Nick? I'm not going to lie. The J6 video, him not being really incarcerated over that. Somebody can start off not a Fed, but they could quickly become a Fed if their livelihood's on the line, if they can't make any money, they've been ostracized from absolutely everywhere. This is the point of debanking. You can start controlling people if you can do this. So that is the accusation. The accusation is Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Nick then points the finger at Tucker. I'll let you decide. Who do you think is the Fed? Do you think?
All right, guys, we're going to break that down tonight. Before we begin, we're going to do things a little differently. This first round, I'll let everybody answer, and then we'll all be taking turns. Gray, we've been doing this now almost 2 years. In our time of doing this, do you think you've met anyone that is a Fed?
Yeah, me.
All right, I'm out.
But nah. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Nora's been jamming Nick Fuentes down my throat, so I've been watching his stuff. So like, Nora's your biggest fan, Nick Fuentes, but he has a interesting perspective on stuff.
No, let me tell you guys, Gray is a big Nick Fuentes fan. You don't want to know why Gray likes Nick Fuentes for everyone watching? Because he trashes Trump. So, Nick, I don't know. Maybe you should go a little light on Trump because you have Democrats over here liking you. Kamal, have you met any Feds in your time doing this? Because I think you've been doing this for many years yourself, too.
Nah, I ain't met no Feds. And if they is watching, they motherfucking silent as hell. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? But do I think Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes is the Feds? I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people saying Tucker Carlson a Fed, but I saw the video with the Kim chick, and he looked like he damn near was about to cry when he was talking about the CIA and his daddy. So I don't know if he a Fed. I mean, he could be acting real well, but Nick Fuentes, I don't know, man. I know the Sudanese Sambo Myron Gaines said he's not a Fed, but I don't know, man. The way Tucker Carlson talked about Nick Fuentes and he had that information about his dad being in the CIA and Nick Fuentes was 17 when he had all this info. I don't know. And they said that he kind of skipped out of going to jail with the J6 incident. But you heard him on the bullhorn rallying up the troops. How much time did he get?
0.
Well, damn. I don't know. I ain't gonna say Nick Fuentes is a Fed or Tucker Carlson is a Fed, but they do Fed adjacent work. They kind of like Vlad TV in a sense.
Listen, I met Myron Gaines about a few weeks ago. I think he's a Fed. I think that's who the Fed is. He's the Fed.
Well, he did work for a government agency. He did do that. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't think a Fed in a malicious way, but, you know, I won't say too much. I'm going to let someone else get their time. Hopefully I'm not cutting in front of anybody.
No, you can go next, Andre, because I was going to go to you.
Well, you know, I've been watching Nick since, you know, he first started. We had 20 people on YouTube. You know, Nick is somebody who was present in the early days of the alt-right, of the dissident right movement. He was the first, I would say, one of the first people I saw that I kind of agreed with when it came to, yeah, we're going to support Trump because he's a closest thing we have to a nationalist, to a populist. And that's really the early Trump base. The early Trump base was nationalists, young nationalists across the country that were anti-immigration, who wanted our country to stop focusing on giving billions of dollars to Israel. We did not like the outcome of the Bush administration nor the Obama administration, both critical of the Democrats and Republicans. We want to change in the course of our nation. So Nick is not a Fed. I think Nick is honest representation of Gen Z, the frustration of young white men and even young black men economically. I've changed my opinion on Nick a lot because I used to interact with a lot of the America First crowd. I debated a few people, some of his lieutenants, on the kill stream a few years ago. And my entire problem with America First and the entire group is that they don't want to do any kind of community action. They're more building the white elite. We want to build a white intelligentsia. I'm being told this countless times from people who still live in their mother's basement. I said, if you're going to change anything politically in this country, you've got to get on the streets. You've got to get on the ground. And none of them want to do that. So that's the biggest problem I have with Nick's base. But I've changed my opinion on him personally. I think Nick is good for the overall right-wing movement, especially for the anti-Israel narrative. I think that's something strong. I was very, very disappointed in his behavior when it came to the Candace Owens interview. I think they should have worked together because there is a greater mission at stake, a greater objective we need to accomplish. Of course, dismantling the pro-Israel lobby within the United States. And him and Candace not getting along was a big setback for that. If they worked together, they would be unstoppable. But Nick couldn't put his ego away. Only problem I have with Nick. But Tucker is, I wouldn't say a Fed. Tucker is a representation of the elite. This entire beef is not a Fed versus Fed. This is a class, issue. This is a issue of class. Tucker and Candace are upper middle class, very wealthy, married into wealth, surrounded by wealth. And Nick is a poor boy from college, from Chicago. He's not a rich kid. He's rich because he made himself. He's a self-made young man. So when we're looking at this back and forth, we're looking at two classes go against each other. And that's the thing that people are missing. They're focusing on the Fed stuff. The J6 stuff, I was always a big critic of that. Why didn't he go to jail? But looking back at that, it's like, okay, I'm glad he didn't go to jail because we still need people out here on the ground saying these things. A lot of things that Nick says is right. It's aggressive, but who cares? We got to stop holding people's fucking hand and be honest about the problems we're having.
Yeah, I agree. Skeptic, what's your thoughts on the whole Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes? Do you think they're both feds?
I think they're both grifters, and I think that their platform is mainly on ignorant YT young men, who they've given a boogeyman as the left and said that because women have rights, therefore that's why you don't have a girlfriend and that's why you're lonely. And I think they're grifting this young generation of men. And in reality, the solution is not that which they're giving them. I also think that Nick Fuentes is a racist. He has said racist things. And I don't know why he has like a Spanish last name, but honestly, it's like
he's Mexican, girl. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. Actually, I don't know
He's
anything about
Mexican.
I don't know nothing about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes does not run in my vocabulary or in my world, to be very honest with you. So I was like, I don't know why his last name is Fuentes. That's a shame that he's Mexican. As a Mexican person, like, I know nothing about him. We don't speak on him. So, but yeah, I think he's a racist, and I honestly he is, a grifter. And I feel like if he's made any money, it's been because of ignorance.
We're gonna have a fun night. We're gonna have a fun night.
Skeptic and King are on the left. King J, you back. King J is part of our Man Cave show.
I know you were going to be there, King.
Yeah, he did his service. He did his honor for the country. He's back, fresh face. You done got the face all cut. What do you think about Nick Fuentes, King?
I'm gonna second to what Skeptic was talking about. I absolutely think he's a racist. As a black man, listening to some of the things that I've heard him say in the past, absolutely racist. He may be a Fed. I mean, to be honest with you, if we analyze what the Fed usually does, they don't usually mess with the people that's working for them. So if he was present during January 6th and didn't get any charges, I mean, 2 + 2 = 4. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Damn. Enzo, as a young Gen Z Italian male, what do you think? Do you think Nick Fuentes is a Fed, or do you think Tucker Carlson's a Fed?
Tucker's a Fed. Tucker's a Fed. He's got too many connections to not be a Fed. Nick, yes, he does say racist things, but there's a lot of other things that I agree with him on. I guess that I disagree with is him being racist. His stance on Israel, agree with it 100%. Screaming about, I agree with it 100%. And Alex Jones are one and the same in my eyes to a lot of the things that they say. I think, just be honest, he's too vocal about a lot of things for him to be a Fed. It's a little weird that he didn't see any charges because of J6, but who really knows what that entailed, where he was, or what was really going on. I mean, J6 itself, or he's going to speak.
Oh, you cut out, bro.
Enzo, your mic cut out. Whatever you're using, it's been in and out, in and out.
Great take though, but you cut out.
Izzo, I have a question since you said that. So my question is, you said that he makes racist statements. So do you not think he's a racist?
No, I said he's a racist.
Okay,
he's a
I
racist.
just want to make sure I was clarifying that.
No,
I want to be clear.
there's
Although
things
I
that he
like
said.
listening to him, he's a racist. He admits he's a racist. He's a proud racist. And anyone that doesn't say he is a racist. I know we use that word like really loosely a lot of the time, so it loses its sting. He is a racist. There's no undenying it.
Okay. I would say he's a racist in a good way. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not as racist as some of them go. He has black.
Yeah, he's not on like he's not on like I'm trying to think of somebody. You know, David Duke, who I've spoken to David Duke.
Yeah.
David Duke is a little bit more racy than Nick Fuentes. I've spoken to David, and he's
you can be Mexican, have black friends, you can be married to a black person, and you can be racist. That doesn't take away
everyone's
from
racist. Racism
person.
is natural. You know, that's a natural thing.
I talk to racist people all the time, and the number one thing they tell me is my husband is black, and that's
you disagree with reality that people are natural.
I don't think everybody can be racist. I don't think everybody can be a racist.
We live in the West.
Everybody can be racist, dude.
Yeah, everybody can be racist. We live in the West where we think that like this egalitarian worldview.
To the system. We're not talking about the people in their self views. We're talking about the system that reinforces the idea of racism. We're talking about
black people have a system that's built to put down whites. We have active discrimination towards whites.
Hold up. There's no institutions that disfranchise white folks. There's no system that black There's no system. There are no
other minorities
that black folks control to disenfranchise white people.
Yes, there is. I don't know what reality you're living in, brother, but yes, there is a system where black people control predominantly black cities, which were, when we look at historically white cities, where they have a lot of control and influence, where they discriminate against multitudes of people, Asians, Arabs, and everyone.
They run everything.
No,
what bank do you go to that black folks control where white folks are getting mortgages?
So when you go and look at predominantly black cities, King, like I said, this is the problem with black people, is that they don't really know what they're talking about.
State can you go to that there's a black majority making
I can
the
go
law?
to a lot of black majority cities that are ran by black people.
No. Listen, I'm telling you, brother. What states can you point to
I'm gonna answer
that
your
black
question.
folks hold the majority in the law-making body?
I'm going to answer your question. So we look at predominantly black cities and how they're structured.
No.
See, you don't like the way. Hold on. No, see what they always do.
Okay, guys, wait. Pause. Because now everybody went. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do this, but let Mia go first. Mia, is Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson a Fed?
I'm sorry, Mia.
Yeah, my bad, Mia.
Joke's on us. They're all feds. That's literally my answer. They're all feds. Joke's on us. Everybody's a fed. That's how they make it. Literally, if you don't play ball with Uncle Sam, you're not going to make it. Legitimately, I believe they're all feds. I'm not saying they're all like active 24/7, but I do believe every single one of them that we see have all worked with the feds. They've all said some stuff that definitely could have been considered harassment or anything like that. I think they're all feds, and they've all worked with the feds. I think they're all just as guilty as each other. And I did not have it on my bingo card that I would agree with anything that comes out of Nick Fuentes' mouth. I intensely dislike that man with an intensity that shocks me.
It's working.
He's a terrible human being. However, I will caveat that with he's been right a couple times this year, and it pains me to say that.
It's working.
Physically makes me ill.
Oh, it's good to see this. It's good to see this.
Okay.
I've changed my mind on Nick. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're gonna play the first clip. It has to do with October 7th. All right, because this is the big clip that they said that shows him being a Fed. Because we got to play it in its full. Hold on, where is it? Okay, here we go.
You heard it here first. Mike Pence has betrayed the United States of America. Mike Pence has betrayed this president, and he has betrayed the people of the United States, and we will never, ever forget. The police of Washington, D.C. are on the Capitol right now shooting tear gas at Trump supporters. Trump supporters are the only people in this country that back the blue, but the blue does not back us, so we're done backing them. If the police want to pepper spray tear gas Trump supporters, and they can try their luck with Black Lives Matter and Antifa, I'm not supporting them. And look at that, we have taken over the Capitol building. Let's go! Say goodbye to the Capitol Police. Bye!
Oh my God, Andre, I can't with you.
What a time to be alive. I missed that. That was a great time.
Were you there?
No, I was not. I wanted to go so bad. Honestly, I wanted to go, but I was gearing up to go in the military. So I'm like, I'm going to stay away from this. But what a fun time. Just the talks and the conversations I was having with people around that time, which is it's a lot of nostalgia kicked in. But I remember that clipping and saying, like, that was some Fed activity. Like, a lot of people got arrested from that. Nick didn't. But looking back at it, that kind of energy, I've been on the ground, done those kind of protests. I've done, counter protesting. I've said some really spicy shit on the ground. Someone's going to find some clips of me saying some shit and be like, maybe he's a Fed. So I kind of look back like, you know what? Maybe, I don't know. People love to say the CIA made me. That's why my accounts keep getting approved. I keep making new accounts. The CIA's up here, some crazy shit. But looking back at that, I don't see any really Fed activity. I see Fed rhetoric. I see some stuff that people would be skeptical of. But honestly, go Nick. I'm really actively changing my opinion of Nick in real time for watching this shit. Like, holy shit.
And so why didn't Nick get arrested?
Because he wasn't on the Capitol grounds. That's why.
Base take.
He wasn't on the Capitol. Literally, you've seen it in the video. I'm looking at it. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not the Capitol building. Like, I have the footage from the Capitol building because I know somebody personally that got arrested for J6 that was wrongfully accused of a bunch of fucking charges that he never even did. So when it comes down to this day in question, I can't wait for all of the evidence to speak for its fucking self and for Chris's book to come out. So Nick, no, he didn't. He wasn't on the grounds. He's not going to get arrested for that. You can protest. You can say whatever you want like that. I mean, look at the most recent protests that have been happening. People said some vile shit to fucking police officers right to their faces. They didn't get anything said. So that right there enough doesn't classify him being a Fed in my eyes at all. Just for him speaking out about J6 for being on around the corner pretty much from there. So,
Skeptic, why do you think he didn't get arrested?
I don't really know. I don't know anyone who was at J6. But I do know that they were pardoned. The people that were arrested were pardoned. One who had put a police officer in a hospital, then later on got convicted of another crime. So I don't know why Nick Fuentes didn't get arrested. He should have, I think. I think everyone that was at J6 that was causing an insurrection in the U.S. Capitol and illegally trespassed on federal grounds should have been arrested and should have been put in jail. But yeah, I don't know why he didn't.
What about the police officers that fired on innocent people?
Right.
That's my question.
The police officers that what?
What about the police officers that fired on a peaceful protest outside the gates of the Capitol building before the quote unquote insurrection happened.
I thought that you
Media
said that
won't
the
show you
police
that.
officers were escorting them inside the building. So which
Yeah,
one?
no, they were. They
You have
were
all
after
these
the fact.
different
So hold
stories.
on. So
first
so
you
hold on.
say-
Right.
So first
So
you say
there's
the police
multiple. There's
officers
multiple
actually
stories.
escorted them inside of the federal building.
All right.
So therefore it wasn't trespassing. But now you're saying that actually they weren't
Yep.
friends.
They were because
actually
I have videos.
shooting
I
at
have
them.
videos. I have videos of both. I
Can't
have
have both
videos.
of them, can we?
I have videos of it. Trust me. Get in my Discord. I'll show you all the fucking videos. I will show you everything. I got fucking 300 hours worth of footage that was not on the fucking news. I have 300 hours and 5,000 pages of paperwork and interviews from the investigators coercing these people to say, admit to this crime, even though you didn't do it, we will let you go home. We will let you go home. And body cam footage of the police officers firing on peaceful protesters outside the gates of the Capitol building, which started the riots. And then I got another video. I got another video of Chris.
Entry illegally into a federal building where they pardoned. Was DJ Rodriguez pardoned after he put a police officer in?
Yeah. So the people. So I will always say this. I will always say this. I will always say this about J6. The people that we have beyond a reasonable doubt evidence that they did anything to police officers, they should have stayed in jail. But this is the same thing. If the January 6th committee wasn't destroying documents, wasn't doing anything, why the fuck did they all get pardons? Why is it okay for all of them to get pardons, but not the January 6ers, who they claimed committed all these crimes when the evidence speaks for its fucking self? Yes, the Capitol Police, right on the east side of the building, were letting the rioters in. The quote unquote rioters in before the riots even started. There is body cam footage of it. And then they were firing on the peaceful crowd, which then stormed after they were fired on. This is what the media won't tell you because it was the deadliest day in American history. It was an insurrection on the Capitol. They were trying to overturn the election. I mean, if you want to talk about fucking the Constitution, you want to talk about the Constitution, right in the Constitution, it says if the government...
The whole 10 minutes. So you want me to believe, number one, that the Capitol Police are playing both sides, that they escorted people into the federal building, which would be illegal, the ones that were saying hang Mike Pence. Those people were escorted peacefully into a federal building, but at the same time, they then turned around and said, hey, now we're going to shoot at these peaceful protesters. And then after all of this,
I'm sure she thinks that the BLM protests were peaceful.
The president said that he couldn't use the National Guard against those people that were in J6, but now he's using them to go after homeless.
Oh, I love that you brought that up. So right here on January 6th,
we going too far on January 6th because we got a guest here.
Yeah, and also we really can't talk about like for I don't know how the rules on YouTube are, but we kind of crossed that line a little bit. We setting up, guys. We have a guest. We have a lot to get to.
I get fired up with that.
I know it's fine. That was a good discussion on it. You know, it was a very tense time. Everybody got really emotional during that time. Both sides for different reasons. Both sides for different reasons. But all right, guys. So that was the first thing. The next thing that Nick has been in the news about, and again, we're gonna have a balance of everyone speaking, is Nick Fuentes basically talked about Black fatigue and got people upset. So we're going to play that and we're going to give a reaction to it tonight. Everybody's going to go on this round either. It'll be Mia, Kamal, and King that'll be responding this time, and Gray. So let me play the clip now.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think Black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these Black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, look, nobody hates Black people for being Black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about Black people is because most people's interactions with Black people are negative. Most people's interactions with Black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane. And
Nissan Altima drivers mad.
But it's like these people have no respect for
Not my first car
decorum.
being a
They think the
Nissan
rules
Maxima,
don't apply
though.
to them. They have
And
no
I do
respect for
speed
society.
with loud music.
Me too. I had a
Like
Nissan.
their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table, and the black people don't tip, and they're fucking rude.
Yep.
Like that's most people's interactions.
Right,
it's
well,
stuff like
I will
that.
say that
they
black
go to the
people in tipping
DMV
is true,
and they
'cause
see a
I
black
called my
person
dad
behind the
out for
counter
being
and
a
they
bad
say, "Oh, here
tipper.
we go," and the person's
My mama
rude.
don't tip either, Mia.
Now it just goes to show people are not
I called
racist.
my
It goes to
daddy
show
out.
people don't like people that are
She ain't
rude.
considered they're black though,
That
so I don't
people
know. Does that
It's
count?
unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence. I mean, the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people.
Black people.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face.
That's true.
You know? That's a problem. And people go, well, you
Where
are
the
just
hell is he
loaded
going?
up with hatred and racism. It's
I
like,
don't
I'm
know,
really not.
but
I'm a really friendly
funny,
person.
the person that came to
I'm
kill
a really
him was
polite,
white.
friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking
Where
in
is
with
this
their
man
pants
hanging
sagging
out?
and they can't articulate what
In
their
predominantly
problem
black
is or what
areas.
they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, that I have a problem with all of that.
This is absolutely disgusting.
And people go, and these
It's
black people go,
truthful.
well, you're
You can be
racist, you're
disgusted. You can be
racist. It's
disgusted
like,
at the reality.
no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Because
It is reality.
If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh, yes, dude, yes. My day is
King is
about
a
to
prime
turn around
example
for the
of the
better.
failed black
What
man
can I
in
help you with,
America.
sir?
I'm just gonna
Please come
double
right
down
on
on
in.
that.
Man,
You're
what a relief to
everything
see
that I
you
make
here.
my
You're a
conscience out
sight
to
for
piss
sore
off.
eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally.
Oh man,
That's true.
okay. I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but before I let Mia go first, the irony of it is that person that came to kill him was a white person. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing out the irony on the person that came to kill him was a white T. But Mia, you can go first.
Oh my God. I cannot. I cannot with him. He is like the combination of every bad propagandized movie, radio, newspaper article for the last 60 years have commenced into one individual. I mean, the math of it is the majority of Black Americans are actually middle class, if not higher class. So why is their terrible lie that we are all live in the ghetto? We don't, or we live in the hood. We absolutely don't. Legitimately, 80% of Black Americans are middle class. Most of us are educated of some sort, whether it's an associate's, whether it's a bachelor's. I mean, what is going on here? It's like this man just took and ate like a fat kid eating cheesecake, every bad lie he's ever heard on Black people. It's like so crazy to me. And like people like him propagate this narrative, like this negative narrative of us. And I feel like they do it on purpose because they're definitely being paid because that is so crazy. I mean, you can go to any typical normal Black American in the United States and you're going to have a good encounter. We're some of the nicest, kindest, warmest people. We will literally feed an entire neighborhood and make sure people are safe. I just hate this lie that's constantly perpetuated about us by people like him. And they keep spreading this false narrative that they can't back up. The majority of food stamps, TNF, and all of that are utilized by Caucasian families. So why do we always get this label when we don't even use the majority of these benefits? Sorry, I feel very strongly about this. I just don't like him.
You feel very strongly. You're completely wrong in everything you said. I mean, here's what I'm getting from both King and Mia. Suburban Black kids that probably got bullied in the hood and then they got moved out to the suburbs and they think like the suburban black kids are around in like their private school or their public school where like this is actually black people. They've probably never been to Detroit. They've never been to anywhere in Chicago, never went to anywhere like Baton Rouge or Baltimore, predominantly black areas which have a high amount of crime. Yes, you know, white people are on more government benefits in the totality. Yes, there are more white people committing crime in totality, but per capita, there are more black people committing crime. You're more likely to come across a black person committing crime and have these issues. So the thing is, it's a part of our culture. We have a shitty culture. Black culture is shit. Black culture 20 years ago, in terms of our music and how we expressed ourselves, how we carried ourselves, was a lot better compared to what it is today. We don't raise good children. We don't raise decent households. We have destructive households filled with angry black women raising single children. We have black men who are weak and effeminate, who've been raised by single mothers. Who have no understanding of leadership, of order, of any kind of stability. And then we get mad when someone else says, I focus more when other minorities say it. I don't even focus when white people say it because we already know that white people are going to have this opinion because there's a shared history and connection that we have with white people in this country. When other people come over here to this country, especially Africans that come over here, and they have these opinions of black people, that speaks volume. When black people go overseas, you know, I've talked to a lot of black people in the military who've gone overseas and they look at, you know, how other black people act or how they're treated. Big difference. It's a big difference of how we're treated abroad because of how we're represented here. Black people get the shit that they get because of how we represent ourselves, because of how we carry ourselves.
Well,
and it's well deserved.
I'm going to allow Gray to go next. He was raised by a single mother.
Nora,
no, wait.
Let him keep talking.
There's not going to be a single person to debunk me or bring it down.
Let him keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not that I'm trying to cut off Andre. I'm just trying to have a balance. So I'm gonna let Gray go. Gray grew up in the hood. Me and Gray knew where we grew up at. So do you agree with some of the things Andre's saying, or do you totally disagree with everything that has been said?
If you're talking about the streets is going to be the streets. I mean, like, we got gangster stuff. People gonna be hood. That we have that. But the reality of what a white person says that this is going to happen to them. Most people know the people that assault them, especially with violence. It's mostly someone knows. This is black people doing this to black people. If a random white person gets attacked, they probably were buying drugs in the hood or knew somebody or something. So, like, this is just a bigger issue with, like, probably drugs and most likely poverty and people trying to, like, come up. I mean, like, you put people in an impoverished situation, they go do what they got to do to make money. And that's what it is. So, I mean, like, that's what black people doing. And over women too. So sometimes they just mad at each other over girls. So, I mean, there is violence and it happens.
Kamal, what's your thoughts?
I want to make sure I can get in there. I got something to say too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have Kamal go first, and then I'll let you go, King. Okay.
Well, first of all, fuck Nick Fuentes. We know how this honky think. Who gives a fuck about him? Andre, where are you from?
Detroit, Michigan, man. Born and raised, currently living here.
Okay. What's your lineage?
See, are you an FBA? Are you a Turk Nasheed type?
Don't worry about it. I'm asking you.
I'm asking the question because, you know, here's why I'm asking this question.
You're not going to answer.
Why does that? I'm going to answer the question. Hold on, guy.
I'm getting clarification.
I'm going to answer the question because it doesn't matter. My family's been here since 1740. I'm descendant of slaves. I've been here my family's been here for a very long time. So there's nothing you're going to say along those lines where I know you're going to go.
Hey, that's your answer.
Said, oh, your lineage is like you're not from here. It doesn't matter. The reality is that black people are like this. But go ahead.
Andre, the thing is, I asked you a simple question.
Yeah, the simple question is like retarded. That's why I cut it down.
You could have just answered the question.
No, it's a retarded.
I'm trying to get more clarification on you. That's
clarification.
Yeah, because you're saying a lot of anti-black stuff, and you feel like
there's nothing anti-black when I'm saying. It's probably the most pro-black thing to say.
I feel like you got the
most pro-black thing I've said on the panel.
You think you have the solution? So with that,
I have a lot of solutions. All my content provides solutions.
Name one black system that oppresses other groups.
Name one black system. When we look at the city of Detroit, right? Look at the system of government in Detroit and discrimination that goes into housing, that goes into getting jobs. If you're white and you're trying to work or live in the city of Detroit, there's a lot of active discrimination against that. Within schooling, historically black colleges are not favorable of letting white kids go to their schools. They're okay with it. They'll allow it until someone, you know, says something about it, right? We see a lot of that within entertainment. If you're white and you're coming into a predominantly black area, especially a poor predominantly black area, you're going to be faced with a lot of crime, a lot of problems. I've seen it here in Detroit. I grew up in the hood. All the problems that I've seen, and I've been around black people all my life, Every issue that we have, everything that we're doing is because of us. And we do it to other people, other minorities, Asians, Arabs, even Africans. This is why Africans don't really like being around us, because of the way we act. White people have this very weak mindset because white people have this white guilt. White people have no identity. White people have no strength. And this is why you see people like Nick Fuentes so popular, because white men have been weakened in this country, just like black men have been weakened in the community. And you're going to see a change. You're going to see a lot of change, a rapid change, because people are getting tired of the excuses. All I've heard is excuses from black people. I provide solutions. I provide critique because I want better. And I keep hearing the same shitty. The solution. Here's what the solution is.
Where's it at?
Comes down to three things. Comes down to three things, which is very simple.
Okay.
One, crime. You've got to be very tough on crime. What we're seeing with the National Guard going into these predominantly black areas, for the reasons being that black people commit more crime per capita. We need to be very, very tough in policing our own people and allowing crime to be focused. Combating crime to be focused on our areas. This is what we have to do. We have to take that sacrifice, right? Because we're having our own children being killed. We're having our own communities being disrupted and being destroyed by our own people. And the moment that we continuously allow this to go on and take no accountability, it's going to get worse, and people are going to get tired of it. So the second one is education. We have to reform education across the board in this country, period. But we really need to focus deeply in the black community. I believe in a total educational overhaul, not education reform. I think the reform has been we've been trying to do it for the last 30 years. It has not been successful at all. That's why the Department of Education has failed. We need a complete overhaul of it, beyond what the Republicans want and beyond what the Democrats want. Something completely new for this century and the next generation. And the final one is the relationship between black men and women. Black women have to acknowledge, being the ones who are the most educated in the community, only in the community, being the ones who have the most wealth in the community, I have to acknowledge that they have become the leaders by default, and they have failed in raising children. They have failed in representing themselves properly. They're deeply insecure, and they have no direction. And black men have to realize that they have failed to maintain the strength and the fortitude to maintain their position and be good examples of excellence for young black men, and more importantly, young black women, so that we can have stronger families. So repairing those three things will bring a lot of success in the black community in the next 10 to 20 years. But these are cultural things. Culture doesn't change overnight. It takes a generation or two, maybe even three, to change an entire culture. On a micro level, you could see certain things change, but on a macro level, it's very expansive.
Andre, I hear what you're saying. Your answer is very long-winded, though, to be honest.
See, this is what you always do. I give you a solution. You don't like the fact that you have. You don't like the fact. Hold on. You don't like the fact that you have a short attention span. You don't like that you have a short attention span and can't pay attention in class because you probably feel stupid. That's the problem with black people. This is the problem with black people. We don't know how to pay attention. We don't listen for any long. This is why no one has any respect for us.
No. I got another question.
This is the biggest problem with Negroes, that you cannot get them to pay attention for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I ain't a Negro.
That's why they have to put a rap song and everything. That's why they have to put. No, I'm not acting.
You acting like a nigga right now.
No, the thing is that deeply uneducated. I come up with some dominance. I'm very confident in what I'm saying. That's not nigga shit. That's a manly thing.
Come on. Let King J go.
No. Let's stop it. Hold on. Andre, now them three solutions. How are you doing that in your life?
I'm one person. I cannot change an entire system. That's ridiculous.
You did the same thing with Doc, bro. Andre, you on a horse shit right now. Doc asked you the same question when you was on this panel. And
no, he did not.
Skated around the question. Yes, he did. He was like,
no,
"What is your solutions?" You said
I gave the solutions, and he didn't like the solutions.
How are you doing
it? Weak-minded, just like you.
Well, the thing is, though, we got to do this and we got to do that. I'm one person.
You're not even repeating what I said, so you didn't even listen.
Okay.
I'm one. So I'm gonna go back to hold on, real quick. I'm one person. I don't have like billions of dollars where I can throw at a problem.
Hold on, guys.
I've done my time passing out food and helping out people.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I come on, I'm gonna let you ask more questions. Let's let King Jay a chance to respond and let him ask what he want to ask, because I know he said he wants something to say.
So the first thing I'm gonna say, I know how detached you are from the black community, just from the fact that you said that's the problem wrong with black people. You're not referring to us as a group because you are black. I don't know if you know that, but you are. When I look at you, you're black. So that lets me know with the way that you speak already that you kind of detached yourself, because when I speak about me and my community, I say me and my community because it's a group. So far as education and crime, we talk about education. We know education is directly correlated with resources and the money and the funding that is put into the system.
Here we go.
Government does not, and see, this is the problem that I have with people like you, because you sit here and you say Black people are the problem, but we know for years and we know historically that we have been the most unresourced, or like the most.
That's actually not even true.
We don't get as much.
Let him finish, bro. Goddamn. Like that's kind of you kind of being rude, bro. Not dead ass.
Look, come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm being rude. Yeah,
but it's not gonna stop us from beating across. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna get upset with him. I'm gonna finish saying what I'm saying. And if he wants to interrupt, that's cool with me. I'm 100% chill. This, and I'm saying this as a Black man that's getting ready to get his 3rd degree. We know that the Black community is not as funded as the other communities, because historically we come from slavery. Our ancestors and our grandmothers and them, they didn't have a chance to build this generational wealth, which a lot of white families do. We know that 30% of the Caucasian community has benefited off of generational wealth. It's people still living to this day that have benefited from the Homestead Act, which is very true. We can look at Oklahoma, where there's a white man in Oklahoma that has acres of land because of that. The Black community is also over-policed already. I don't think the Black community is the problem with crime. I think it's the resources that we're not receiving from the government, which we need to put people in place that's going to help us fund our community. But if you want to go look at the crime, I think you need to be going to the people that's going up in these children's bedrooms, because we know that white men are literally going up in these 10-year-old kids' bedrooms and sexually assaulting them when we talk about statistics.
So I swear, I'm gonna have to crack a whip across the country to get a lot of these brothers in line, because you guys clearly don't know anything about what's going on. So we look at resources. Hold on, we look at resources in the Black community. Black communities are underdeveloped because Black people don't invest in their communities. They steal from the communities. We take from our communities. We do everything against our own. We're our own worst enemy. That's a fact. 81% of Black business failed from the first 18 months, compared to the rest of business over the course of 5 years or the course of 2 years, whatever you want to look at it. We fail because of our own selves. You want to talk about slavery? You have all these people coming from war-torn countries that are being devastated right now. They have greater conflicts and greater catastrophes going on, and yet we still do this sad, simple-ass cry about slavery, which has no effect on Black people today. It has no effect on anyone today. I mean, unless you're living in Africa today or living in the Middle East, which slavery still goes on. Slavery still goes on. Hold on, slavery still goes on in Africa and the Middle East, and it's far more worse. Let me tell you, it's far worse, and it's far worse for everyone across the world. Slavery. Hold on. Here's the thing: Black people, like I said, Black people are so uneducated on slavery. They think that slavery is like the worst thing to ever happen to them. Not
so that's very ignorant. That's ignorant what you're saying.
That's reality.
Yes, it is. It's ignorant because they talk about slavery, brother. They're not talking about just slavery. They're talking about centuries of abuse. They're talking about slavery.
People have been abused throughout all of human history. Get a grip. Grow some balls.
Hold on, brother. Hold up. We're talking about slavery, Reconstruction.
You sound like a woman right now. You're crying about something that does not affect you.
Brother,
I'm saying this.
We're talking about a generation behind us literally having to sit back on the back of a bus because you were black.
We don't have a generation behind us. I'm Gen Z. We've got millennials, and then we've got Gen X.
Hold up, brother.
The boomer generation.
Because we're talking about generational wealth. Hold up. You wanted to talk about generational wealth.
Hold on.
Hey, bro,
wealth is not a real
both
thing.
at the same fucking time.
Generational wealth is not a real thing.
Hold on, guys. Wait.
Generational wealth is not a real thing.
Hold on. I'm not going, but everybody here know, and Skeptic, especially when it comes to me, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody bash the Black community, because we also have to acknowledge that generational wealth is also built through institutions, because the white folks have controlled the banks for years. So you can't sit here and say that we're
white country.
You don't. Hold up. You're sitting here talking about build yourself up, get yourself up by the bootstraps when you don't have any bootstraps to have. That's the problem I'm having. sitting here making all these fucking excuses or sitting here
No, you're
complaining about
making
the black
excuses, King.
community.
You're making excuses. You made nothing but excuses. You made the same
There's
simple,
valid,
sad
there's
argument
valid
that both black conservatives and black liberals make, and that's why it's weak.
points.
That's why most people don't agree with either one.
King
So
and
what I'm
Andre,
saying
I
is
think
this.
Skeptic want to say something. Skeptic,
Yeah,
go
Skeptic
ahead.
wants to say
Your
something.
Let's
general.
let
I want to make a general statement on this because I think that there is this disingenuous argument that the U.S. does when it comes to systemic racism. So post-slavery here in America, we had Black wealth. We had Black Wall Street in Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had the U.S. bombed and white people came out and literally destroyed the Greenwood area. We had the same thing happen in Philadelphia. We had the same thing happen in Florida. Black wealth has existed before in the US. And we have seen where institutions like banks would deny people their money or give them loans because they were Black. Talking about the GI Bill, I know multiple families for a fact that after World War II, we're not giving the GI Bill. When we talk about the Homestead Act, when we talk
Got
about
mine
food
now.
stamps, white people, and I'll finish this, Andre, you can go after I'm
Yeah,
done
I'll
making
go
my
ahead.
statement.
Go ahead.
White people were given the system and the federal help from the government to basically give them a leg up. But then they turn around and say, oh, racism doesn't exist. Even though after Jim Crow, we saw how the Union had to, remove themselves from the South and allow Southerners to have reign over and terrorize the Black community for a very long time. So to sit there and say that a system did not actually exist to hold oppression, and I'm talking
Nobody ever said that.
systematically when we talk about banks, when we talk about credit, when we talk about redlining, when we talk about coming in and literally destroying wealth that is Black wealth, you can see it literally in American history. So in 2019, you saw that when we passed policies that basically eradicated racism from the workforce, we saw an increase of 60% in Black wealth here in America.
What are you talking about?
So to say again, if you'll just be
Nothing she's
quiet,
saying is
if you'll
factual
be
at all.
quiet,
It's
if
like,
you'll be quiet, I have all of
I
the data.
swear, white women. Well, I guess she was
If
Latino.
you'll be quiet and you'll actually listen to some stats that I'm going to give you,
The stats you're
you
bringing up are not
actually
even
saw
factual.
growth.
I'm
Again,
interrupting because it's idiotic.
again, nobody can hear you. If you're
It's one. Let me tell you this. It's one of me, so I'm gonna act. One of me
I
against
deal
what
with
three of you.
kindergartners
So
all
I'm
the
gonna,
time.
I'm
And
gonna
this is
keep
what I
it.
say. If your words, if your mouth is moving, your ears are not listening.
I'm
so
sorry, I
you
didn't
need
know
to
we were
listen.
back in kindergarten.
Okay, so again, I'm going to finish the statement that I'm
I'm
making.
gonna use my
No
army
one can
outside
hear you
voice.
when you're
I'm gonna
talking
do
at the
that.
same time as me. Nobody can hear what you're saying until I land my plane. Thank you.
Okay.
So again, we saw Black wealth go up 60% from 2019 until now because we saw policies being passed that basically stopped racist systems from coming in and imposing redlining or rejecting loan banks, giving banks for house loans. So the fact that you want to sit there and act as if America doesn't have a racist system is actually mind-boggling. And I'll say this, and I'll finish with this: wealthy Black men that make over 6 figures, 80% of them marry Black women. So like all the stuff that you're saying, I don't know, somebody
What are
said
you talking about?
somebody was saying a crazy statistic. I just wanted to put that out there.
do you
And I
keep
also want to
What are you
say,
talking about? So let me go back to what I'm saying because like I said, hold on. You know why I'm hold on. Let me go back to why I'm interrupting because it's three of you against one of me. I know I'm gonna have the most dissenting opinion on here. I know I'm gonna have the most dissenting opinion on. That's why I'm keeping the same energy.
Why are you continuing to interrupt her? Because your points are not fucking.
My points are valid. They are valid. The thing is that you get emotional about it. Yes, they are. So let me continue to go back to what I was saying. Hold on, let me continue going back to what I was saying. She brought up about systemic racism and all this other past shit. That's not relevant to anything going on.
Guys. Nora, just go to the next clip, Andre, because we were here to talk about Nick Fuentes.
Hey, it's always gonna be some tap dancing sambo.
Nobody's tap dancing. It's always going to be sad, soft, nobody's dancing at all. I'm living in reality. I want Black people to be
I'm
better.
going to the
I'm
next
tired
clip,
of Black
guys.
people
Let's
like
run
you
a few years ago of him attacking me, and I was
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
better at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit, and I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of talent, native talent, and he's attacking my dad as a CIA. His dad's in the CIA or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. Then my father dies, and I learn actually, yeah, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year.
Nora, you're catching strays from the comments, man.
With this child from Chicago My dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And I
Wait, so that was his critique of you because I didn't see it. It was like, he's like,
someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by
But you
Russia.
would be
So I was like, okay.
a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money and you're not Russian. But I mean, I really hate the CIA. And I mean,
Right.
I mean, that's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in the same.
Even the internet want this nigga to shut up. God damn.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
First of all, man,
Esau, guys.
shout out to Buwana eating his sea crab wings, glazing Andre and shit. You feel me? Now I'm about to talk shit because I guess we're not taking it serious. So now I'm about to get in my clowning mode.
Oh, you're gonna get emotional now. Go ahead. Like,
Nah, it's not
been doing that.
emotional, bro. I don't listen to
you're
people
very
that don't implement their own solutions. You sound like a
I've
psycho.
done it. So you're
You're like,
asking me
I
to
got
get
all
billion.
these
Hold on.
solutions for the
You're
black
asking me to
community.
get $1 billion right now,
Implement it in your
and
life.
to do it all.
Well,
Can I
I'm
do
just
all that
one
right
guy.
now? Can I do
I'm
that
just
all
one
right
guy.
now? Yeah,
I
I'm one
can't do it
person. I
all
don't have
myself.
billions of dollars. Yeah, you
I
can't.
can't
That's
do
why
it
you
all
build a
myself.
movement. That's
Well, I got
why
all
you
this
build a
bullshit.
movement. That's why you spread it, right?
Why is this
This is why I'm talking over them, because it's three of them and it's
No,
one
I
of them.
was
And that's why I keep the same
you
energy
The
on any
problem is,
panel I go on.
that you keep speaking over people.
Yeah,
You-
because you guys are not making any valid points at all. But you're saying,
You
like,
ain't
I'm just
making
tap
valid
dancing and I'm just
You
doing this
literally
for
said,
white people's
these are the three
entertainment.
solutions, and we was
No,
like,
no,
I brought up
problem is-
solutions and
Hey,
no,
everybody
you're
relax.
very,
Time
very
out.
professional.
I
Time
don't know.
out.
You're one
Time
man.
out. Yo. We're getting back to what we're talking about. Enzo.
Oh, that shit
what
is
do you
over
think
with,
about-
Greg. We're not getting back to what we talking about. We
Come on,
on
come on.
this
Oh my
motherfucker.
God,
Yeah, come on, let's go on this. Come on, let's do it.
That's
Come on,
all
let's
that.
do it.
That's the
Let's do
solution,
it.
man.
Come on.
I want to know the
Let's go.
solution he's
I
doing
brought up
in
the
his
solutions
life.
to you. I can be very honest. Let's do
Because
definitely.
all
We
three
need to bring
solutions
back
you
the death
said
penalty.
that
Something
we
we
need
need to
help
have in
with,
this
I'm
country.
doing
It's
it in my
something very.
anecdotal life. And I'm
I'm
only
doing
one.
it as well. I've done it as well. I
only
passed
one
out food.
person.
I've helped out in my
Yeah.
community. I'm only one person. There's only so much
And
I can do.
also,
That's why I put out
statistically
content I've
speaking,
done.
you're incorrect when you said that
Hold
white
on,
men didn't have
Stop.
power
They don't.
in the
Let me
U.S.
say this. It's
government. Yes, they
ridiculous.
do. White men make up
Yeah,
29%
because we live in
of
a
the
predominantly
population, but
white
hold over
country. That's what's
60%
going to happen
power.
when you have a
So
country that
you're
has
wrong when you
predominantly
say
white
that.
people.
White
I
men
mean,
do
what
hold
the hell?
power in America.
Okay.
Yes, they take
Nobody
over
even said that. I don't even know what you're talking about, skeptic. I mean, every time you
I'm
interject
giving you
something stupid.
statistics. I am a
You're not
numbers
giving any
girl, so I'm
statistic.
giving
That's
you
kind of
numbers.
like
You can
something
go
we
look
all
them
know,
up.
that
I'm
there's more
factually
white
giving you
people in the
numbers.
country. Therefore,
So
there's
yeah,
going to be
when
more
you
white
just
people
sit
in
there and
power.
say you're wrong, that doesn't contradict my point. You
You know
don't
what
give
I'm
me any
saying is
numbers
that
in
what you're
context.
saying is
I do
idiotic.
my
No one,
research and
everyone
actually
knows that
give you
there's
the
more
numbers
white
about
people in the
this stuff.
country.
But to
Therefore,
say
there's going to be
no,
more white
you're
people
wrong.
in power.
Oh my
This is
Lord.
getting too out of
It's
control.
idiotic to
So
even
we're
bring it up.
gonna go to final thoughts.
She don't even go here. I'm just saying.
All right.
That
Andre,
dude is a
what's your
fat
final
dance
thought?
stand.
Everybody
got
else?
all the- hold on.
Andre, what's your
From the
final
back.
thought?
Well, my final thought is that these people have just proven my everything I'm saying in my content. They really can't hear any different perspective on the black community. I give solutions. They get angry. The reality is that black people have failed. Black people are failing in this country, and yeah, you can say I'm wrong all I want, but
Yeah,
you know,
doing what
millions of
you're
people
doing.
agree
When
what I'm
people are
saying.
talking, you trying to
Millions of
interject
people agree what I'm
smart
saying.
ass
You know, a lot of people
remark.
agree what I have to say. Black and white, normal
You're wrong,
people.
bro.
They want black
Yeah.
people to be better. At
Wrong.
the end of the day, we're going to push for that. And people like these, I don't want to say black liberals because I really don't care about the left and right dynamic of it. You know, I'm very right wing, but I care more about the the focus of Americans, right? Us as Americans, we've got to do better. And the black community is not being the most productive community in this country. There's other communities that are, of course, trailing behind and have their problems, but black people are significantly behind, and we've got to do something about it. So, you know, when I'm listening to these people and I give them solutions, they're like, well, you know, what are you doing in your life? I've passed out food. I've served my country. I've helped out in my community. I come from a family of black men and women who've done the exact
And
same
why not
thing.
fucking say that in the first
And
time?
I've said that from the beginning. I've always
No, you
said that. I've
didn't.
said this
You
throughout
fucking
my
danced
content.
around and
I
tap
did.
danced around the question.
And see, this is
No,
what you can do. You can
people
sit
in the
back and
chat
say
were
tap
talking about
dance and all all that. Black people never have anything constructive to say. They only have insults, and that's why our community is dysfunctional. That's exactly why our community is dysfunctional.
You've been doing this shit. Now,
No,
I'm
let me
gonna
say. This is exactly why our community is
up
dysfunctional.
haircut.
Andre,
Goddamn, where you get
See,
your
that's
cut from?
all.
Just
This is
a
why.
penis?
This is why the black community is
Goddamn.
dysfunctional because we
No,
can't
I'm
have anyone
clowning
to
now.
talk
Enzo,
about
what's
We're
your
anything.
not
final
taking this shit
thoughts?
serious. So now I'm going to start clowning.
Enzo, what's your final thoughts?
This was a very different episode tonight. Final thoughts. Talkers with Fed. That's it. That's really all I got.
Hey, Norm Chester,
Short and
you
sweet.
can eat a dick. Yeah, I'm fired up because I got this
Violent blacks can't control
over
themselves.
here trying to
Someone's been
chastise
raised
the
by a
black
single mother.
community.
Mia,
Then
what's
we
your
ask,
final thought?
what's the solutions? And Bert not
My
even
final
implementing his own
thoughts.
life.
Hold on, Kamal. Goodness, I didn't do anything wrong.
Put the
Damn.
tampon in.
Not you, Mia. It's all good. I'm talking to this
Give
guy.
me 2 seconds to get my final thoughts, man. All I'm gonna say is they're all probably feds. This was definitely an interesting episode this time. I hope everybody in the comments has a good night. I hope everybody on the panel has a good night. At the end of the day, we all need to remember we're Americans. We're all on this planet flying in the middle of a solar system, and we should all try and work together, even if we don't agree, because we all got to make it work. And that's on land. I hope everybody has a good night.
Skeptic.
Well, I want to reiterate the fact that white men still hold power, the majority of power here in the US. They only make up 29% of the population, yet they hold over 60% of political power in the US. And being 29% of the population, they are convicted 80% of the time for SA of children and women. They also make up 83% of white collar crime here in America. And the US has systemically been racist towards the Black community. They had experiments in Tuskegee where they literally put syphilis into the community, into Black men. They injected them with syphilis and did not give them the cure, even though they had it, and let this go on for 30 years. And we had a U.S. president apologize for this. We also in Mississippi had hysterectomies being done to Black women without their consent. We had bombings in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Black Wall Street. We had bombings in Philadelphia. We had bombings in Florida. So to say that the U.S. is not racist when we had Jim Crow, where Black marriage was not even legal until the 1960s, the fact that we had redlining, the fact that we had banks that would not give you a loan if you were Black, the fact that we have had all of these dog whistles I'm talking in the 70s with the Southern Strategy. We heard Republican strategists literally say, we're going to use dog whistles like, hey, let's improve the busing system. Hey, let's give tax cuts. That when we had white flight, when white people left the cities, the inner cities, and so therefore took their money with them. So they defunded the inner cities and the schools. Like, there's so many examples of this that it's laughable to say that the U.S. is not racist and has no kind of racist system. They sprayed Mexicans down with pesticides. They deported U.S. Mexican citizens in the 40s. Like, please read your history books. Please go look at statistics. Please go look at what America is, because American history is a history of racism. That's my closing thoughts.
King J.
I'll say this. I'm gonna try not to leave it on a negative note, but I'm gonna say this for the Black community. There's always gonna be some tap dancing sambos. I promise you. I promise you. Fuck them. We have to have our eyes set on what's going on, because the majority of us, we're not Black conservatives, and that's very true. Statistically, that's true. We're progressive as a community because there's nothing for us to conserve. For my brown folks, the Hispanic community, I am tired of talking to these white folks about treating us right or treating us like humans. The truth of the matter is, the reason why they're throwing y'all out of the country is because they know that y'all are outgrowing them. If the Black folks and Hispanic folks and we get together, we can run politics in this nation, and we can pass laws for the people that continue to want to oppress us. We can do the same to them. So I'm gonna leave it at that. We don't need these people's help. We need to come together, stop complaining to them, because we're letting them know what problems we're having. And you know, for the folks that are in our community that continue to go against our interests as a group, get rid of them. Fuck the tap dancing Sambos. Get rid of them. Goodbye. We don't want you no more. Go chill with the white folks.
Come on.
Just proved everything I just said. Thank you.
And you can't stop interrupting, you fucking Sambo.
I won't. I think you're an ignorant.
I think you a lot of things. Shut the fuck up.
I won't.
Put it back on them, bro. Get it off me. They going at it. Get it off.
My thing is, everybody else here has been quiet when people talking, but for some reason, this fucking Sambo can't be quiet.
Because I don't have any respect for you. That's
yeah, I don't have no respect for you, and I know for a fact.
What's your final thought? You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Well, my final thoughts is I'm going to talk only about what the topic is. Who I wanted to say was the Fed was Candace Owens. I think she's the Fed. She reached out to Nick. She organized this. I think the problem in this country is the anti-Israel movement is growing too strong and too loud. The fact that we are calling out lobbyists and special interests. And I think this is a distraction. I think Candace Owens is going to go to jail or get sued. She's going to probably have to pay the Macrons a lot of money. And I don't really care. Or they have something on that husband of hers and they told her to reach out to Nick Fuentes. That is my conspiracy. And that's what I'm talking about, because we need to unite Black people, white people, brown people, Democrats, Republicans, because we need to kick out the special interests and we need to stop giving $300 billion to go kill babies. That's my closing thoughts.
I agree.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know we go live. It was an action-packed night, like we always say on a new party.
I got a final note. I do. Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Last days of the period, huh?
Go yet.
R&B singer. That's your name, bro. And like I said, I felt Andre at first. You felt like you were trying to be serious, and after a while, I just thought you was being goofy, trolling. We done had a troll on here before. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think you doing the grifting shit, bro. Get your grift on, though, bro. Get your money, bro.
I don't need the money. I'm doing this for a different purpose.
Cause like, bro, I got a hairline.
My hairline's actually pretty good. I have great hair.
In a minute, but I'm saying, bro, it's like you on some clowning shit, and we can't listen to a grown man that tells us the problem, has the solutions, but don't implement it in his own damn life.
I don't have billions of dollars to do it.
Psychopath, bro.
I don't think he getting no money,
bro. Like,
I don't get any money. I don't get no bitches either. Is that the next take?
Woo.
I can't tell. I don't think you get no money.
I don't get any money. I make a decent amount of money.
Me? And
I don't think you get money to me.
You feel me?
Why does it matter?
Talk over them because they talk in the background. But shout out to the chat. You feel me? Who else? Norm Chesney. You could go eat a dick. You feel me? Buwana, what's up, bro? But lay off the turtle wings while glazing goddamn Andre. You feel me? And Andre, bro, you feel me? You seem like a smart brother, but at the same time, bro, you are kind of like, you full of shit, bro. Because if you say you have the solutions and then you don't implement the whole solutions, you ain't no better than the Dr. Umar, nigga.
Didn't I just say I don't have billions of dollars to make these podcasts? Didn't I just say this like for the 100th time? I don't have billions of dollars to do this.
Damn.
You don't need billions of dollars to implement.
You need billions of dollars to make it.
You
guys are extremely low IQ. I'm just gonna say that.
Andre Williams,
room temperature IQ from these tapes.
Oh my God! Hey, your IQ is dog shit.
Like I always say, we do this Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like we always say on New Party, always vote. Have a good night.